It's news time, 5:38. Now, 1010 wins entertainment. You can add another star to the already star-packed cast of Only Murders in the Building. Renee Zellweger will be visiting the Arconia in Season 5. Christoph Waltz and Keegan-Michael Key were previously announced to join the series, and its regulars Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Selena Gomez. Still no word, though, on a premiere date for Season 5. Shakira is tops on the stadium tour circuit. Billboard's box score says the singer pulled in nearly $33 million in February. This is the first time Shakira topped the list.
Entertainment on 1010 Wins is sponsored by Shulman & Hill, New York's injury lawyers.
Go to hurtny.com.
That's hurtny.com.
Attention, have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-358-6868. That's 800-358-6868. Again, 800-358-6868.
All news, 92.3 FM, powered by 1010 Wins.
The News Watch never stops. This is 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Good afternoon. 52 degrees at 5:40. I'm Lori Madden. And here's what's happening. The North Bergen cops, who accused their chief of some pretty gross behavior, are offering up new details this afternoon. Allegations the town says just aren't true. A 31-year-old man is recovering from a gunshot wound after shots rang out in East Harlem. Suffolk County Police say a Shirley man was very busy stealing from 8 shops in 10 days. President Trump pulls the nomination of Congresswoman Elise Stefanik as U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations, saying the House majority is too thin for Republicans. Ferrari says it's upping prices by 10% on some models, thanks to the Trump auto tariffs. 1010 Wins AccuWeather says turning partly to mostly cloudy later tonight with a shower north of the city at low 42. Tomorrow high 60. Wins News Time 5:41. Time for expanded traffic and transit from the Mercedes-Benz of Edison.com Traffic Center. Here's Greg Rice.
Now, Verrazano Narrows Bridge, Brooklyn bound lower level. We've got this rollover. We got 2 right lanes out. Staten Island bound lower level of the Verrazano. You've also got a lane subject to closure with the emergency responders and a whole lot of traffic heading for Staten Island, not having an easy time of it. Westbound belt bumper to bumper from the Mill Basin Bridge all the way to the Verrazano. Westbound BQE, outbound Gowanus, all of it a mess now from the LIE all the way on down towards the Verrazano Narrows Bridge. Here's what you need to know about the rest of the bridges and tunnels. Citybound George is fine. Cross Bronx, the absolute worst of it out from Castle Hill Avenue. Deegan slows from Yankee Stadium. Harlem River Drive out of the 140s. Lincoln, it's about 20 minutes in, 20 out from 11th, better from 9th. 45 home at the Holland. Outbound covered roadway, inbound Skyway are still parking lots, but the Newark Bay does better. Eastbound BQE, everybody at a standstill from the Williamsburg Bridge because they were broken down cement truck that has the middle lane knocked out of service. Cross Island extra slow south from Francis Lewis Boulevard all the way down to Linden Boulevard. Stay with the southbound Clearview for as long as you can. It'll be a whole lot better. I'm Greg Rice. Our next report is at 5:51. 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
The accusations are cringe. The town says they're not true. But this afternoon, we're hearing from a group of North Bergen police officers who are offering new details about the allegations they're making against their chief.
Their lawyer, Patrick Toscano, says The town should take away the chief's service weapon.
We would like to see Mr. Farley relieved of his duties and disarmed.
Why?
Because he's dangerous.
The cops accused the chief of attacking one officer with a hypodermic needle, putting drugs into the coffee pot, and leaving excrement besides desks. The town says it's all made up.
When that was stated, my partners and I literally, looked at each other, flabbergasted.
He says photos and videos confirm the claims, and his clients offered to take lie detector tests. Roger Stern, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM, outside the lawyer's office in Fairfield, New Jersey.
A man who was shot on the street in Harlem is in stable condition this afternoon. It happened at East 116th Street and Lexington Avenue. The circumstance is still not clear. Police say they received a 911 call about a person who was shot. And when they responded, officers found a 31-year-old man who had suffered a gunshot wound to the leg. He was taken to Harlem Hospital. No word on any suspects being taken into custody. Another fan is told, no entry for you at Madison Square Garden.
Men are being banned from Madison Square Garden, all because of a T-shirt. That's exactly what happened to Frank William Miller Jr. He's a designer based here and says he found out when security stopped him at a Radio City concert with his parents.
The lead manager came over and eventually gave me a piece of paper which said that it was a trespass notice. I would not be allowed into the venue or any other Madison Square Garden entertainment venues.
Back in 2017, Miller started selling banned Dolan T-shirts after Knicks owner James Dolan. That is because Charles Oakley was banned from the court. But now he says Dolan is holding a grudge. Mary Lynn Buckley, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
MSG Entertainment issued the following statement, quote, Frank Miller Jr. made threats against an MSG executive on social media and produced and sold merchandise that was offensive in nature. His behavior was disrespectful and disruptive and in violation of our code of conduct, end quote. A New York State court blocks Texas from filing legal action against a New Paltz doctor who prescribed abortion medication via telemedicine. This is the same doctor named by Louisiana in a similar case. The acting clerk of the Ulster County Supreme Court said he would not grant the Texas motion filed by Attorney General Ken Paxton. New York has a shield law that seeks to protect abortion providers who send medication to patients in other states, but this interstate abortion case could ultimately wind up before the U.S. Supreme Court. A Shirley, Long Island man is under arrest this afternoon for allegedly helping himself to goods from a number of stores in Suffolk County.
Some sharp-eyed officers helped arrest a man accused of stealing from 8 businesses in just 10 days. Suffolk police say the officers noticed a man walking towards Famous Footwear in Shirley and recognized him as the person who stole from that business and 7 others, including Stop & Shop, Walgreens, and 7-Eleven in the Shirley Mastic area. 55-year-old Anthony Anzalone has been charged with 9 counts of petty larceny. Sophia Hall, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM on Long Island.
52 degrees, sunny in New York. We are going down to 42 tonight.
There's no place like home. At NYU Langone Health, we get our surgery patients home sooner than any other health system. Better health starts with a better health system. NYU Langone Health, #1 for quality care in the U.S. The NYU Langone Health app gives you access to your electronic health record, so you can keep track of your visits, lab results, and images all in one place. Better health starts with a better health system. NYU Langone Health, #1 for quality care in the U.S. Learn more at nyulangonehealth.org.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Break up with stinky clothes.
Rinse it up. Every now and then I get a little bit tired of the stinks that just will never come out.
Yeah, boy.
So clean. Downy Rinse and Refresh, it's a dream.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Fights odor in just one wash. Guaranteed.
1010 Wins.
For me, and how early I should leave.
Want the quickest route? 1010 Wins.
On 92.3 FM.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? Yikes. When it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Here's how to get the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Plans start at just $20 a month, and that's not a short-term promo. Our U.S.-based experts will get you switched and saving in about 20 minutes. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you, and start saving today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, just $189.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
New York Congresswoman Elise Stefanik will not be heading to the United Nations. Not as an ambassador. President Trump has pulled Stefanik's nomination to be U.S. ambassador to the UN after her confirmation had been stalled over concerns about the razor-thin majority for Republicans in the House. The president announced the withdrawal on Truth Social, saying it was essential that Republicans hold on to that majority. He did not mention who he would nominate as a replacement. The feds say a man under arrest north of Washington this afternoon is accused of being a top leader of MS-13 in the United States.
It happened in Manassas, Virginia, about 30 miles from the nation's capital.
He was the leader for the East Coast, one of the top 3 in the entire country.
Attorney General Pam Bondi says the alleged leader is a 24-year-old illegal immigrant from El Salvador.
And he will not be living in our country much longer.
White House spokeswoman Caroline Leavitt calls it a major win in a bid to crack down on the violent gang. One of 8 Latin American criminal organizations the administration declared foreign terrorist organizations last month.
It's a good day for our country.
Sagar Magani, Washington.
If you're in the market for a new car, you might be digging deeper into your wallet than you previously budgeted.
The Trump administration's tariffs are going to make car buyers' next trip to the dealership look a little different.
The vehicle that I'm looking at affected to the same degree as the one on the other side of the lot.
Edmunds Director of Insights Ivan Drury says domestic-made cars are going to be in high demand, which could push prices higher even on vehicles unaffected by the tariffs.
It's almost impossible to hide this cost 100%. You know, consumers have to bear it to some degree.
Mike Dabowski, ABC News.
Ferrari is warning would-be car buyers you'll be paying more for some models thanks to the Trump tariffs. The Italian automaker says it's raising prices by 10% on certain models after April 1st in response to the Trump tariffs. That will up the price by about $50,000 on a typical Ferrari. While Tesla continues to face protest over company founder Elon Musk, one Tesla fan is fighting back.
When the Texas man's Model X was badly keyed, the car's onboard camera caught the suspect in the act. Police have charged the vandal with criminal mischief. Now the owner has filed a $1 million civil suit for the damage to the car, lost wages, and emotional duress.
This matter has nothing to do with his political persuasions or affiliations.
But Jed Nachawati, the Tesla owner's attorney, hopes the lawsuit will discourage others from lashing out at Tesla owners.
It's a fine line between civility and anarchy.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
And let's do this again. Wins News Time, 5:51. Time now for expanded traffic, including the Hatfield Transit Desk. Here's Greg Rice.
Well, we start with your subway delays on the E and N trains at this hour. The rest of the subways are fine. LIRR is on or close. Scattered delays on the Metro North New Haven line. New Jersey Transit, PATH trains, they're all on or close to schedule. Now, here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. Citybound side of the George is good enough. To the upper and lower Cross Bronx, the worst of it out from Castle Hill Avenue. Northbound Deegan, they're getting rid of a crash near Willis Avenue in the right lane, and then more company from Grand Concourse. Yankee game's in the 8th inning. When that's over, it's all going to get worse on the Deegan with everybody leaving. Lincoln tunnels about 15 to 20 in. Outbound Lincoln 20 minutes from 11th, better from 9:45 plus at the outbound Holland. Outbound Covered Wood Lane, inbound Skyway. Newark Bay is better. Verrazano, Brooklyn down lower level still with the rollovers Staten Island down with the rubbernecking, and the worst of the ride is heading back to Staten Island. Westbound Delta is slow now from the Patrick Basin Bridge, and the westbound BQE outbound side of the Gowanus. All of that a mess from Queens Boulevard down to the Verrazano, where again, Brooklyn down the lower level has a rollover, but Staten Island bound, everybody got nosy. Traffic is sponsored by Whole Foods Market. I'm Greg Rice, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
Save on Simple Eats at Whole Foods Market. Get 20% off select cut and packaged fruit with Prime through April 1st. Skip the prep with an easy sweet snack on the go. While supplies last, shop in-store or online. Terms apply.